Hi, I'm Sam from New Web Marketing, and my passion is to help service-based industries grow. So whether you need more leads, better online presence, or a better reputation overall, I'm going to teach you in the next 3 videos a foundational marketing strategy that will help you get success online. Just to be clear, I primarily work with tree services, contractors for residential services, and home stagers in the real estate industry. But the information I'm going to be bringing to you in this training series applies to any industry, so don't think that you're excluded just because of that. When you've completed all 3 videos, you will have a solid understanding of who your customers are and how they view your business, how to build a marketing funnel and bring those customers through, and then finally how to implement a strategy that you can get started with right away for your business. So let's get started. All right, so in this first video, we're going to talk about laying a good foundation, really understanding your audience and your prospects. That's the first step when it comes to any marketing strategy, is to understand that foundation, because when you understand who you're targeting to, you can be effective with everything else you do. So that's where we're going to start. But before we get into that, I did promise I was going to answer the 3 questions, the 3 reasons why digital marketing doesn't work or isn't working for you. Because the reality is that it probably does work. It's been proven over and over again that digital marketing works, but why isn't it working for you? And that's the frustration. Number one, you haven't invested the right amount of time into doing it. Some of these strategies take time, and that just comes down to confidence, not having the confidence in the strategy to be able to do it. You can't justify the cost because you haven't seen the results in the past. It's not a big surprise that a lot of people are trying to sell you digital marketing. Why? Because it does work. But there's a lot of people who think they know how it works that can't get real results. And so they end up winning your business and then under-delivering on results. And that, I mean, honestly, that would tick me off too. And then number 3, you hired the wrong agency or didn't have the right skills or strategy to maybe implement it yourself. And those are really the top 3. It's usually a combination of those, not having knowing the right way to go, not giving it enough time, and maybe not spending enough money on it, or being able to rationalize that cost. So we're going to hopefully show you through this training series how these things aren't even an issue. And I want to ask you the question, what do you look like? Over 75% of people looking online actually judge a business's credibility based on their online presence. That's huge because they're looking at your website and your online presence to judge how good of a work you do. Let's look at this major shift that's happened in the last 10 years of how people decide who they work with. So this shift happened because of the invention of the internet. And basically what happened is, in the past you had salespeople, and those salespeople is who you went to if you wanted to buy something new. You asked them, what's the benefits? What's the features? What does it do? How is it going to solve my problem? And you relied on that salesman or gatekeeper to give you that information. And so you went to the salesman, they made a sale. Nowadays, in the last 10 years of the invention of the internet, Google and other search engines have become the gatekeeper. So what that means is that when people identify a problem, they are going online to solve that problem, and they're searching for answers, they're reading content, they're looking at websites, and they're deciding who they want to work with. And that research process becomes the gatekeeper to that sale. And so that's a major shift in thinking. If you don't understand this, you will not win in digital marketing. Let's talk about the buyer journey. You have to understand how your customers think when they're searching for you online, because that will help you create the right strategy to meet them where they're at. So the buyer journey is the decision and research process that every buyer goes through when they're making a purchasing decision. It looks something like this. You have the awareness stage, the consideration stage, and the decision stage. And I think about 80-something% of buyers are not going to reach out to anybody until that final decision stage. So we're reverse engineering this process and providing valuable materials at the right time to nurture them into making a decision with your company. All right, so let's cover the awareness stage. This is where they first become aware of a problem. For example, if you're a tree company, your customer's awareness stage might be a tree falls on their house or in their yard, and they see that problem, they're becoming aware of the problem. Or they see a post that you do on social media, that shows somebody else who had that problem. Now they're thinking ahead of time, what should I do if I have that problem? So that's all bringing awareness to the problem, and that's what the customer's doing at that point, is they're just becoming aware that I've got something I've got to solve here. Then they move into the consideration stage, where they begin that research process. They're looking at different options. How do I solve this problem? And that's where you can meet them with different pieces of your marketing strategy to help them solve that problem. And then finally, based on that entire customer journey, they're going to make a decision based on two things: the relationship you built with them and how much they trust you. That's it. That's the only thing that they're going to base that decision off of. People buy on emotions. They don't buy on logic. Let's always be honest in our marketing. Never, ever blow something out of proportions or overpromise something that you can't deliver on. In your marketing, be very clear what it is, and when they get to that stage, they're going to base that decision on whether they trust you or not and how well you develop that relationship. So it's very important to get in front of your buyers early in that journey and build those relationships. And there's lots of different tactics that I'm going to cover in the next video on how to do that with the pieces of your online presence. So you might want to define some buyer personas, and this simply means just a resume of who your ideal customer is, their age, their gender, their financial situations, frustrations, maybe some problems they're trying to solve, their likes and dislikes, and maybe the goals they're trying to achieve. So when you do this, it'll give you a really good picture of who they are and how you can reach them to solve a problem. So again, you can see kind of in this example here how we've really dug in and built out a resume based on the ideal customer of this particular business. So we looked at their age, their work, their family situations, their locations, goals, frustrations, demographics, motivations, all these different things. When you lay it out in front of you, when you go to create content and when you go to actually market yourself, you have a really good idea of how to speak, what pain points to hit on, how to address their problems, so that you're actually truly adding value and helping them solve that problem, and obviously seeing you as the clear authority to make the choice. Understanding the buyer journey and your ideal customer is foundational to digital marketing success. These are the things that are going to get you to where you want to go. The best thing about digital marketing is that it's cheap, it provides very targeted data, and it has a very high return when you do it right. In the next video, we'll go over how to meet your buyers where they're at and build a marketing funnel around their needs, goals, and frustrations. This is the meat and potatoes of your marketing strategy, so you want to make sure you get the next video. I'm Sam Nudek, and I look forward to continuing to help you grow your business.